This is the Bitcoin 1 month overview reading for the month of September 2025. It's currently August 31st, 2025, 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time. Bitcoin at the time of this reading is $107,713.02. That's USD. And the shuffle video for the September reading was created on August 24th, 2025 at 10:19 p.m. Eastern Time. That's this video playing for you here. Guys, I apologize if there's any dog noises in the background. I'm watching dogs as I record. Kind of a side gig. I love dogs. So, always like to have them around. Good for Hermes too, to play. But I have earphones on to, basically keep myself focused on the task at hand. So with that said, if you're new to the channel, what we're going to cover in this video will be the overall trend direction for Bitcoin in the month of September, the trend direction or chart behavior or the main event in some cases. We're also going to give you the information about the chart behavior for the month's highest high, month lowest low, and the best trade opportunities, as well as the day-by-day sequence of chart events. It's important to understand, listen up if you're new, this is super, super important. The timing of the sequence of day-by-day sequence of chart events, the timing is usually on point to the day, but there's plenty of cases, especially with these crypto, where you'll need to give it plus or minus 1 to 2 to 3 days even in some cases. It's the sequence of chart events that, as outlined by the prediction, that's most important to follow. That's what SO meta-analysis was really designed for, to time sequence of chart events. But not each card's energy will necessarily line up perfectly with 1 day of time, and for that reason I do not recommend trading this information alone. You should only trade this information if you have access to our monthly access subscription with the live Discord trade alerts and live trading view chart links. Otherwise, just think of this as proof that extrasensory perception exists and can be used practically in the real world. And if you must trade, paper trade it. Alright guys, so let's get into it. The overall trend and theme for September, I'm seeing a rally along a diagonal trend line that breaks through resistance, meets another resistance, and then pulls back to somewhere between those two price levels. It's important. The rally is like a multi-day rally. It's crossed with the Ace of Discs. The Ace of Discs indicating a lot of price change into and or out of a support level. So my sense is that we probably have a notable rally that then turns over towards the end of the month, and we'll look at it in more detail as we progress. Behavior around the highest high for the month, the Prince of Swords, indicating a lot of volatility. More likely than not, we'll see the high more than once or consecutively higher ones, even more likely consecutively higher highs throughout at least the majority of this reading. Behavior around the lowest low, out of seemingly overwhelmingly negative chart behavior or overwhelmingly negative headwinds, out of a decline, we move to the upside, and that's the behavior out of the low. So there'll be super like negative headwinds or chart behavior, probably both, obviously they go together, but people will be expecting us to go lower. Instead, we will move higher even still. As far as the actual timing to the day of the high and the low, that's something that you get in the monthly access subscription. Again, I'll show you how to get that at the end of the video. Now, I'm going to get into the day-by-day sequence of chart events and then give you one of the best trades that I see for the month. But before I do that, let's take a look at, and I want to show you guys, what the whole purpose of the channel is actually to transmute competitive energy of the stock market into goodwill. You go to our website, Tarot for Traders, hover over resources, or click resources, and 5% of all profits should be donated forward to one of these charities. You're effectively transmuting the competitive energy of the stock market into goodwill. And if everybody did that, everybody that made money in the stock market took some and made sure it was going to goodwill, I mean, how much better could the world become? It's like, so let's do that together. And it also is a way to express faith that there's more to come for yourself, something that's necessary for manifesting wealth. 5% of the profit should also be donated back to the channel through one of these links. That's a way to express gratitude. Gratitude begets more gratitude. What we are, we attract more of, right? And it's also one of the major components necessary for manifesting wealth. Faith, gratitude, and you got to have a clear conscience. So make sure you keep that, you spend that 90% left over out of love. As long as you follow those rules, makes you an angel investor of the channel. The universe will send it back to you tenfold, and I'll consider you one of those fortunate few with the utmost integrity out there. So much love and blessings to all my angel investors. Let's get into the rest of the reading. All right, so here on the first, we have a rally, and it looks like the rally probably turns over before the end of the day with a peak. We go into, there's a multi-day support highlighted around the cusp of the first second, and a move higher out of it, followed by a full retracement back down. It looks like more decline. And multi-day support highlighted again, and more decline on the third into a prominent trough. A lot of price change out of that trough to the upside, where we're bumping along resistance sideways on the fourth. Sideways fluidity, equal amounts of bulls and bears, inflow and outflow on the fifth. Prominent peak there as well, and there's like a breakout. It's interesting. It's like a breakout out of a trough or a breakout. It's hard to say, they're stacked on top of each other. So there's probably a drop there, and then out of a trough, a breakout to the upside there on the 6th. On the 7th, we've got a near overbought crest that we sell off from, probably a brief peak that we'll sell off from through multiple support levels. Decline continuing into the 6th, where we kind of flatten out, at least momentarily. Decline continues into the 6th. We probably flatten out around the 9th, actually, where we attempt to establish support. And then we've got like this, we've got some volatility in here, some price swinging in here, and like this big move pushing the upper end of a range higher on the 10th. But it's also covered with the universal hexagram, indicating a pretty sharp drop, in all likelihood into a trough here around the 11th. So be very, very careful. Play volatility there. On the 11th, we have a failed attempt to break through key resistance, followed by a decline through key support, and it's resistance that we're going to expect to break through based on previous technicals leading into it. There's a nice move to the upside around the cusp of the 11th, 12th. That turns into sideways rotation at a trough. Around the cusp of the 12th, 13th, and then that sideways rotation ends with a fast sudden move higher. An important technical price level highlighted on the 13th. We have a prominent trough and a prominent peak on a multi-day scale there. Everything I talk about is going to be relevant on the scale of a 1-month chart with 1-day candlesticks and what's otherwise specified. So there's an important price level highlighted there. A lot of volatility because we've got both a peak and a trough there that'll stand out. On the 14th, we've got some sideways rotation within a period of volatility, another prominent peak, and there's an intentional fake out or shake out, some sort of tricky chart behavior that's intended by the market makers or the computers there that they use to influence us to do the wrong thing. So be very, very careful around the 14th with Bitcoin. On the 15th, a rally that likely turns over before the end of the day. Or if it doesn't, it continues rallying into the 16th and then turns over into a notable decline on the 17th, where we flatten out towards the bottom, and there's a significant move to the upside into a prominent peak early in the day on the 18th. That makes a U-shaped dip, so we drop from there, and then out of a decline from the bottom of the range all the way to the top of a range, we have this big move to the upside on the 19th. Rally continues into the 20th, but it turns over on the 20th, or it's halted on the 20th with a decline through key support. Probably a brief peak easily missed there, taking us into a trough, important trough on the 21st, or around the 21st. A decline ends with a fast sudden move higher, creating that trough. And then there's mixed behavior on the 22nd. A lot of price change there, likely a support level is highlighted on a multi-day scale. And we probably see that support like twice that day. On the 23rd, we have a resistance level highlighted that we failed to break through many times before, and support on a multi-day scale highlighted again with the trough towards the end of the day. It looks like we successfully find support by the 24th, and there's a move to the upside with a peak there. And a sharp drop through multiple support levels out of that peak. Then an unexpected move to the upside on the 25th. So likely there's a prominent peak and a prominent trough within a day of the 25th. Trough first, then peak. And then we have sideways rotation on the 26th, ending with a fast sudden move higher. More sideways rotation on the 27th, and it looks like a trough towards the end of the day at a key support level on a multi-day scale. Out of that trough, we have a breakout to the upside, a pretty big move to the upside there, but that turns into a reversal on the 28th. On the 29th, we have another trough at a key. It looks like probably the bottom of a key range on a multi-day scale. And then we have a pop and a drop on the 30th. Sneak preview for October is a multi-day rally, increasing momentum moving forward through time, at least in some part in the month of October. The October readings are going to be coming out like next week, and then we're going to be like ahead like we usually are once again. So you'll want to look out for that. As far as the best trade, guys, remember, you should not trade this information alone. It took me 15 years to figure out how to consistently trade this and make money, because it's so different from what I learned as a stockbroker on Wall Street or a day trader prior to ESO meta trading. So I do not recommend it. Plus the timing is usually on point. Like I say, we're usually right, like most of the time. But there are cases where we're not, and there's cases where we're off by a day or two here. So it's in real time in the Discord trade alerts that I keep the people up to date. This is more of an expectation of what we're going to see. And you remember, you want to follow the sequence of chart events. If you're going to trade this information, I'll show you how to get those services at the end of this video. I think probably the best trade that I'm seeing... I would like to open up, if we see like a highest high thus far around the 5th, 6th, if we see a highest high around thus far there, I would open up a short position for a move into like a dip. Like there's going to be like a price swing here, guys. It's going to be a price swing here around the eclipse. So I would be looking to open up a quick short, close a quick short, probably on the 6th. If that doesn't work out, on the 6th, I would want to be in a long position for a day trade. But with that said, guys, again, only trade this if you've got access to those trade alerts. We have the live Discord trade alerts for Bitcoin as part of the monthly access subscription, and it comes with a chat channel. You can ask any questions you want. Monthly access gets you all of these channels right here. Live stream questions, Bitcoin, Nvidia, QUBT, Solana, Tesla, XRP, all of those, and the S&P alerts for day trades and swing trades. That's all part of the monthly access subscription. You get it over here on our website, tarotfortraders.com. Hover over order now, click on subscription. Monthly access subscription is the mid-level subscription. You also get the earliest access to any of our public posts. This is $300 a month. You make it back in one trade. It's so simple. Like it's a no-brainer. The Discord is a game changer. If you've tried trading this without those services, you've probably had mixed results, unless you're like blessed and you're really, really good mentality-wise and don't bet it all on the house because you were right 3 times in a row, and then that ends up being the time you're wrong. People do that because they think I'm going to be right all the time, and it's not the case. Most of the time. Most of the time. More than enough of the time. So, thanks to everybody that goes ahead and supports the channel with that. And blessings again to all my angel investors out there following that rule of karma. I will see you guys on the monthly access portion of this video.